Alright guys, you guys should now be able to hear everybody. I do apologize about that. We should be good to go. Let's get Geezer off that screen and onto this screen where he should be.
This counts as me streaming for the day, right?
Oh, I think so.
Alright, I'm not streaming tonight then.
So we have a bunch of stuff that we wanted to go over. I just need to add you to one more window, and then we will be good to go. I know. It just takes forever, doesn't it? And this is actually one of the things we're going to be talking about today, guys. Managing your time off and on Twitch.
Don't talk to me about that.
This is probably something that me and Geezer probably should have set up, say, yesterday. We need to edit this. Alright, we've almost got this set up, guys. Alright, that should do. And then we can move him. Guys, you're seeing live editing on OBS. You guys are learning how to do this right now as we go. And
Can you narrow that window capture down just a little bit? For my screen?
Yeah, I'm doing that right now. Boop, boop. There we go.
Yeah.
Alright, so there we go. Everything appears to be good, guys. I do apologize about that, but we are now live. And let's go ahead and bring up chat. Alright, so we've got a few things that we're talking about today. The first one is streamer burnout and how to cope. And this was actually the major reason that I wanted to bring Geezer on. We all know that Geezer is a streamer. I've talked about him before. He's been streaming for quite some time. Lately, he's had some difficulties and had to take a break. Geezer, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about that, actually?
So, I've been streaming, it's going to be 2 years this fall. I'm not like any other different than any other streamer in that I get caught up in numbers, and I get caught up in focusing too much on growth and less on having fun. And we've been trying to get partnered for probably about 9 months now, and we're not making headway, and I know why. It's because the numbers aren't where they need to be. So back in July, I decided to take about a 2-week hiatus, simply to clear my head, because we had been sitting kind of stale right at the same level, and we're still sitting at the same level even after the hiatus, but that's okay. What I figured out is I needed to get my mind right again, and I go through periods of that, and where I work my butt off, and it doesn't seem like anything's progressing. But what I figured out is that mindset needs to change, and I have to remember that I'm having fun with my community and hanging out with people I enjoy hanging out with, and not worry about those numbers. So for me, taking that little break really did great things for me, and I've done that a couple times. I've taken a few breaks. So, and then I had another break that wasn't related to that. That was family emergency things, but the last month or so has been nuts.
No, completely understandable. And so that's the thing that we wanted to talk about here. Geezer had to take a break, and it does happen for everybody. But the one thing we want to tell you, of course, is that you got to remember that those numbers aren't always important. We want to try to, of course, everybody wants to grow, and you're going to grow at your own pace. But, if you do feel that you are feeling down and things like that, that's when you need to take that break. You also want to avoid streaming too much. I know that there's been streamers out there that, they stream 6, 8, 12, sometimes 16 hours a day, every day. And after 2-3 months of that, they just get completely burned out, and then all of a sudden you don't see them streaming for 2-3 months. And
yeah, you definitely have to take care of yourself.
Yeah,
you got to remember that yourself, your health, your mental health, your physical health, and your IRL stuff come first. Even if you're doing Twitch as your primary income, you need to. It's just like a job. If you're getting burnt out, you need to take a break. So, yeah.
I do want to take this time here really quickly to thank everyone who has followed since we've gone live. Again, we don't have pop-ups here on the Help Desk show, and the reason for that is just because we don't like being interrupted while we're talking and things like that. And the Indie Initiative sounds are quite loud, so we've gone ahead and we've done away with them on the Help Desk. But I want to thank you all for doing that. We will periodically do that, just because you guys are terrific, and we do thank you for following. Omega Sprocket, do you have anything you'd like to speak to on the issue?
Nope.
Just you really do just gotta look out for, watch out for any type of burnout when you start to feel run down for anything, whether it's just getting up and walking away for a couple hours and going back to your stream, or getting up and walking away for a week or a month at a time and going back. Streaming, whether it's your only income or not, is not worth the mental and emotional stress that it's going to put on you. So make sure you take that break and just come back to it all refreshed.
Exactly. So that's really it. I wanted to just point out the streamer burnout, things like that, and the fact that even though you might burn yourself out and you might have issues, you can always still come back strong. And the biggest thing is that if you do feel that you need to take the time off, you do it. You come back, but figure out what made you take the time off. Figure out how there are ways to avoid that in the future. So if it was because you were streaming 12 hours a day and you got tired of doing it, and so you took 3 weeks off, maybe don't stream for 12 hours a day. Maybe stream for 8, or maybe take a weekend off.
Yeah, that's when I first started. I would stream very long hours. It wasn't unheard of for me to stream 12, 15, 16 hours a day when I could. And as most people, anybody that watches my stream now knows, I don't typically go over 6 hours.
That's
I know that's kind of my limit. Yeah, there's exceptions to that. Like if I'm having a lot of fun, or we did 24-hour stream back in May, and then we started out doing a 24-hour last month on July 30th. I lost interest in about 16 hours in, so I'd had enough. So, but you have to recognize that moment when you've had enough, and don't push yourself past that, because that's when the burnout's going to happen. That's when the stream's not going to be fun for you. It's not going to be fun for your viewers. It's not going to be fun for anybody. So what's the point at that point? Because streaming's supposed to be fun.
Exactly. And so that is the basic information there, guys. If you have any further questions on that, feel free to go ahead and just go ahead and type them into chat. We'll get to them as quickly as we can. Any questions we do see in chat, we are constantly reading, guys. If you have questions, even if they're off topic, go ahead, throw them in chat. As soon as we get a second, we'll answer them, and we'll try to go as fully detailed as we can into the answer, if possible, of course. You can think of this as an AMA for anybody that's on the show, but it's more of like an AMAA, ask me almost anything. So the next thing we're going to go to is managing your time on and off Twitch. So that is going to be a longer conversation, I think. Let's start with on Twitch. Now, when I'm saying managing your time on Twitch, what I'm saying is consistency in streaming. Whether or not you're streaming 2 days a week, 4 days a week, 6 days a week, 7 days a week, if you really, really want to. I don't recommend it. You got to make sure that you have a consistent schedule. It's something that I think every major streamer is going to tell you, every little streamer is going to tell you. A consistent schedule is what's going to gain you followers. Going live at the same time every day that you decide to go live is a great idea. That is a big thing about, being on Twitch and having that schedule, because people need to know when you're going to go live. Geezer, what is your schedule right now?
I have no idea. So my official schedule is Friday from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern time, and then Saturday and Sunday noon to 6. However, I'm and then I unofficially stream, Monday through Thursday starting at 7. I think I've been playing around for the past month or thinking about changing that, just because of the confusion between Friday nights and the weekends. Mm-hmm. Traditionally, Saturday, Sunday's been our main day, and Friday's been kind of a, bonus extra deal. But I'm kind of getting to a point where I'm thinking that having that kind of schedule, even though we've been doing it for over a year, is kind of hurting the stream. So I've been toying with the idea of maybe still being live Saturday and Sunday, 7 to 10 p.m., but starting a little bit earlier. So I'm still there the same time every night that I stream, but on Saturday and Sunday we have a little extra ahead of time. I'm not going to go later because I want to go to bed. I'm old. So.
No, that sounds like an amazing idea. And just like Geezer was showing there, just because you have a set schedule doesn't necessarily mean that's all you have to stream. If you can guarantee me 3 days a week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that you're going to be live, tell me the time, and then you decide, oh, I'm going to go live Thursday as a bonus stream, and you tweet it out, that's perfectly fine. Like, bonus streams are fine, but you need to have that set schedule, and that's something that I think that even a lot of the smaller streamers are lacking. Or if they do have a schedule, they're not following it, and that can be a very, very major thing.
Yeah, it's hard to at first, when you first start out, it's hard to figure out what works for you the best. Playing with different times and figuring out, okay, I guess the number one thing you got to look at is for your schedule is what works for you in your life. Mm-hmm. I go a little deeper into that. I look at, how many people are on Twitch, what streamers are live, who's ending their stream, who's starting their stream, that kind of thing when I'm looking at my schedule. But when you're first starting out, just focus on what works for you and then adjust it slightly from there in the future. But, there's so many factors to take into account for schedule, but don't worry about those. Worry about what works for you in your life, because number one, that's what matters.
Exactly. The other thing is, when it comes to schedule, just because I'm saying have a consistent open schedule doesn't necessarily mean you have to stream at the same time. There are people that work shift work. There's actually a neat little trick that I've learned from here at the Indie Initiative that you can use if you work shift work in order to let people know your schedule. And that's a Google Doc. If you have a Google Excel doc, which is the times that you're going to be streaming, the days you're going to stream, people will know, like, a week, 2 weeks in advance when you're going to stream. That's absolutely terrific, because then I can go, oh, well, as an example, say Geezer had one of these and he decided he was going to stream 3 p.m. on Tuesday. I could then know 2 weeks in advance, oh, he's going to stream 3 p.m. on Tuesday, right? Well, Geezer, you don't have to stream 3 p.m. on Tuesday.
See, that's actually something that we talked about. One of the things we did during my break is I didn't take a full break. I just didn't go live for 2 weeks. I was actually behind the scenes talking to members of my community, as you're aware, about, things to improve the broadcast, things to improve the community. And we've instituted put into place a few of the ideas. Some of the ideas we just couldn't do, or I was just like, in my mind, I'm like, no. But one of the things that came up was exactly that, was having a schedule for when I was going to stream outside the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The problem with me is my job Monday through Friday is so unpredictable. I don't know if I'm going to be in town tomorrow. I can plan all day long. That's why it was hard to get this arranged, because yesterday my sales rep that wanted to go do meetings wanted to go out of town today and be 2 hours away. And when I said I got to be back home by 3:30, he goes, well, never mind. So things for me, for my schedule, changed so much. It's just, it almost negates or makes it impossible to do a schedule in advance. I know that my job doesn't require me to work on weekends. So I know, and I refuse to work Friday nights. So it's just, that's the benefits of being in the position I'm in. So
that's very true. And, some people are going to have unpredictable schedules like yourself, and that is definitely something that has to be taken into account. Sometimes you just can't schedule your entire week. You do what you can, guys, and if you can't schedule it, let your people know. Like, let your Twitch watchers know, and let them go, hey, this guy has another job. He's not making money from Twitch, or he's making very little money from Twitch, and he can't support himself with it. He needs to work, and sometimes that work's going to take you out of town, or it's going to make you work weird hours, and you just can't stream. The other thing is, go ahead.
Twitter is your friend.
Yes.
I am very, very, and you know this, I'm very, very active on Twitter. I've sent more tweets than some large streamers that have, dedicated, that's all, all they do is social media. I've only had a Twitter account for maybe just a little longer than I've been streaming, and I've got like 7,500 tweets or something like that. I think I do about 500 to 750 tweets a month, sometimes a day. Today I've been tweeting like crazy because new toys. So, but yeah, Twitter's your friend. Letting people, having a place that you can communicate with the community, let them know, hey, what's going on. Like right before this, I tweeted out that I'm not going to go live tonight because I'm counting this as my stream today.
I didn't even have a chance to see that tweet. Now what am I going to watch tonight?
You were already live.
All right, so, and the one final thing that I want to bring about time management on Twitch. Just because you're streaming doesn't mean that there aren't other things that you can work on. So, like, as an example, you watch your chat. You can even have other chats open. Chatty is a wonderful thing like that. And, you can still type into other chats and things like that while you're playing. It's a little more difficult, but you can still keep an eye on things and find out what's going on so that you're aware of what to do when you're off stream. And we're going to talk about off stream here in a moment. And I'm still having that problem where the white shirt underneath is getting green screened. I don't know. So the next thing is managing your time off Twitch. So the first thing I'm going to say is last week we talked about the fact that even though you're not streaming, you're still streaming. Stream work doesn't just stop when you stop streaming. If you really want to grow a channel, you got to do a bunch of stuff. That includes networking. That means getting to know other streamers, getting to know their likes, their dislikes, going to their stream, watching it, making sure you enjoy them, and then trying to convince them to do things like the help desk with you. And things like that. And so you're going to spend a lot of time working on your stream off your stream. And sometimes that can actually be longer than actually streaming. There have been times where I've spent 6-8 hours just watching other streamers, getting to know them, talking to them, and just doing general networking. I bet you Geezer has tons of experience doing networking.
Oh yeah, I've networked my butt off. That's networking to me is probably one of the most important things you can do, and you get people to know you, and that's what I spent. Even though I started streaming, on November 3rd, 2013 was my first day streaming. I didn't have any clue what I was doing. I knew that I turned on the live button, and I started doing my thing. I didn't know anything about settings. I didn't know anything about content because I had only been watching Twitch, for about 2 weeks. And I said, yeah, this is what I want to do because I had started. I decided that I was going to do YouTube. And as soon as I found Twitch, I was like, nope, no YouTube. This is much better. I started talking to, other small streamers. I started talking to being very vocal and very active in large streamer chats. And got to a point where I was a very trusted person in the communities that I was in. I'll never forget the day that it was like maybe I'd been streaming maybe for 4 or 5 months, and Bacon Donut shouted me out because he had stopped by my stream once. I didn't know, but he had stopped by my stream once, and he was working on something. I don't even remember which pack it was, but he was working on something, and it was I don't even remember which mod it was, but he was working on something, and the chat was telling him to do it one way, and I'm like, no, it doesn't work that way. And so I actually went into my test world and tested it and came back and said, confirmed. I actually sent him a donation and said confirmed it doesn't work that way. And he responded with, okay, well, if Geezer says that's the way it is, that's the way it is. I trust his judgment. And of course, chat, because I had donated to say that, immediately came back and said, well, no, you trust him because he donated. And he actually, one of the few times you see him kind of get worked up, kind of went off about, no, I've seen this guy. This guy's a good modded Minecraft player, and he knows what he's talking about. And that was kind of, to me, a turning point on Twitch as to knowing that my networking had worked to a point, and that I was gaining the respect of other broadcasters. And you work forward to going to the conventions. I've been to 3 PAX now. I've been to PAX Prime. Well, actually, the first one was a year ago now, because PAX Prime is back again. But PAX Prime, PAX South, PAX East. I'm going to be going to TwitchCon. I couldn't go to PAX Prime this time because it's so close to TwitchCon. I so wish I could have. But that first PAX Prime that I went to in Seattle with, I went with Silas and Headwound and Moku. We were all rooming together. That was like the best networking in the world. I was nervous as crap. I'd never been to a convention in my life and didn't know what to expect. I went into it with the mindset of, okay, I want to network. I want to talk to other broadcasters. I want to meet these other people. But oh my goodness, I get to meet people I watch. And I'll tell you, I fangirled the whole weekend. So, but getting to meet people like Bacon Donut, meeting and talking to Giant Waffle, Silas face to face, Headwound, Moku, just everybody that I got to meet and hang out with, it's indescribable. And you fast forward 6 months, 3-4 months, however it is between PAX Prime and PAX South, it was, instead of this time I'm meeting a bunch of new, I was planning on meeting a bunch of new people, but now it was, I get to see people I already know and hang out and talk. And the stuff at these conventions that happens is so amazing. The idea sharing, the advice, but mainly the camaraderie, right? I told a new streamer once that their idea of networking was hanging out, saying hi in somebody's chat, and then lurking the entire time. I said, that's not networking. That's hanging out in somebody's chat and lurking. I said, you have to be active. And you need to, instead of having these large broadcasters, other bigger broadcasters, or any broadcasters just know who you are, you need to be friends with them. You actually need to make actual friendships with these people. And then you become and I hate to say it, but you get into that clique and you get that assistance. And it's a big deal. But I mean, PAX South, that was another milestone convention for me, because I got invited to Bill Guild Party. And I was like, holy crap. Here I'm rubbing elbows with the biggest people on Twitch. Tim the Tat Man, Giant Waffle. I don't even remember all who. Zeke was there. Man versus Game was there. I mean, it was just wow. And now I'm looking forward to TwitchCon, because I get to, and really my TwitchCon looking forward to, I'm not even looking forward to meeting new people. I'm looking forward to seeing the people that I know and that I like to talk to online. It's so much easier to talk face to face with these people.
Oh, I agree.
And one thing people always forget, streamers are pretty much people too. They put their pants on the same way sometimes, except for ones that don't wear pants.
Streamers wear pants?
What? No, I'm not wearing pants.
All right, guys. And yeah, so that's definitely something that I've been wanting to talk about too, is the fact that, you can't just lurk. I see so many people going in and they're saying that, and that they're networking and all they're doing is lurking in channels. You got to make it known. As Snakeskin said, he said, has it been mentioned yet that making a quick donation, even if it's just the minimum amount, is a perfect way to introduce yourself to new stream community?
Okay. So there is, I will tell you when I first started streaming, I used the donation tactic. It backfires on you. It will backfire on you. I actually had a donation budget. And I put it into my marketing budget. Into my mind, this is how much I'm going to spend on marketing my stream, right? Thousands of dollars. That's what I'll say. Thousands of dollars a month were spent on donations to get people's attention, get known. Did it work? Yes, I got known. The problem is, it kind of backfired in that now I'm known as a big tipper. a big donator. And so people in that big donator community don't come to my stream to donate because I have established that I have money. I'm not broke. So I think it's kind of a double-edged sword. So you want to, I mean, if you donate little bits, that's fine. But the real thing, the more important thing, is to be active in chat and actually be meaningful in chat, not just hi. I've got a couple of viewers in my community that every 10 minutes they just say hi geezer, and I'm like, well, all right, we've established this, we've established hi, and let's move on to how you doing. I don't know. So, but
And I'll be the first to admit that in Geezer's channel, I'm probably one of the bigger lurkers as well. But
the lurkers are important too, though. Lurkers are important when it comes to straight viewers. When it comes to straight being a viewer, there's nothing wrong with lurking. Mm-hmm. There's absolutely nothing wrong with lurking. I personally am a lurker now, but for different reasons. When I go into Bacon Donuts chat, because I'm a mod there, and because Bacon and I, converse the way we do and communicate the way we do, and the fact that almost everybody in Bacon's chat knows who I am, if I say hi in Bacon's chat, I will spend the next 5 minutes saying hi to people. So a lot of times, I'll either be lurking in Bacon's chat, or I will be in there in an alternate account. But I'm also, this kind of goes into time management thing, is I don't have the time to watch the streams like I used to. When I'm working at home during the day, I'll a lot of times have a stream up on my extra monitor, but I'm not really paying attention to it because I'm on the phone, I'm doing conference calls, I'm working on something here, and it's usually just video playing, and every once in a while I'll get to unmute it. But in the evenings, I'm either streaming now, or I'm zonked out and want to go to bed. So it's this is why I said don't ask me about time management, because I suck at it.
All right, so yeah, Skin Singe, you are right. Like you said, donating is not necessarily a bad thing. Throwing a minimum donation once in a while, but you want to be careful how often you're doing it, because even a minimum donation, if you do it every time someone streams, people are going to start to notice that. And if you're going to want people to donate to you and things like that on your channel, by throwing the donations constantly, people realize you have money and don't need it, and they're not going to give you donations. Like as an example, I don't donate because I can't, but at one time I did. And it's just you do what you can when you can, and just make sure that the one thing I want to guarantee is that you do not spend money that you need. I've seen people do that where they've spent money that they should be using on food, on gas.
Oh, I've done it. I've done it. I'll be the first to tell you I'm addicted to donating to streamers because I love supporting streamers. I mean, just subscribing to a partner streamer is not enough for me. I have to give them support, and I don't know if it's because I love supporting them, because I love the attention. Maybe that's why I stream. Of course, that goes against everything I ever even believed, though, because I usually, I mean, you hear me in my stream, I'm like, nah, it's not about me. It's about the community. It's about everybody else. But yeah, to be a streamer, you have to have that little bit of ego, and you have to have that little piece of something inside of you that wants attention. And I have enough of that. And we go back to the last topic about burnout. I have enough of that where if I don't get enough attention, if we're not growing enough, that bothers me. So you have to balance that, and don't ask me how to do that.
So again, that's managing your time on and off Twitch, guys. Yep. Sprocket, Omega, do you have anything you want to add for managing your time on or off Twitch?
Don't run yourself down.
Yeah.
No, that's it. That's honestly it. Just don't run yourself down.
Yep.
Omega?
Totally agree with that. Yeah, you have to think that you have a life. You have people that probably know in your real life. You want to spend time with them. So when you take time to stream, always remember that and make sure that you have time for yourself and for your friends in real life too.
Yes,
I don't have any of those, so I'm good.
The streaming versus real life conundrum, and this is something that I've seen a lot of people go through. It's caused issues on Twitch, it's caused issues in the real world, and it's all about managing your time versus managing the people in your life. Some of us have girlfriends, wives, children. I don't think Geezer has any of those. But you know, at some point, Geezer, at some point, and you have to manage both sides.
Not me. I've learned. So here's the thing. My personality is I move around a lot. The longest I've lived in one place in the past since I graduated high school is 4 years. And that when I say one place, I don't mean one house. I mean one state. I've been here in South Carolina now for a year. I don't ever get to know people where I live because of my social anxiety. I don't leave my house. The only real interaction I get is with people from work and with people online. Yes, I have real life friends, but they all they're scattered around the country. My family is, split between Minnesota and Florida. I don't want to know anybody here in South Carolina. So for me, because I'm single and I've made that choice, I want to be single. I don't want to have relationships because they've never been good for me. That's an advantage for me because I don't have anything here for me to do outside of streaming. But it doesn't mean that I'm not going to get burned out streaming because, yeah, I do. And there's times I'll sit down in front of the computer and be like, yep, not feeling the stream. I'm not feeling it. And we'll get into it. And I'm sure my viewers have seen it quite a few times where we get 15 minutes into the show and I'm like, nope, we're done. Nope, this isn't happening. Or, we'll get 2 hours into a 3-hour stream and I'm like, no, we're done. I'm not feeling it. Or I'll get upset about something. Well, if it's not fun for you, if it's not fun for the viewer, why do it?
Well, exactly. I just want to take this time to shout out to everyone in our chat here, guys. If you're female and you're going to TwitchCon, Geezer HD is available. I'm just bugging you, Geezer. Just bugging you. So that's something that definitely needs to be managed if you have a wife, if you have family. I know I have a wife.
Yep.
But the beautiful part is that the shifts that she makes it so that I can stream quite a bit. Unfortunately, I haven't been streaming much myself because my channel's going through a huge change. I used to be a Minecraft only streamer, guys. I started doing this show because I have a passion for helping people and I have a passion for teaching people how to use a computer properly. So that's part of the show is, setting up your stream, learning different things, and that's something that I've always wanted to do. So the help desk actually is probably going to go multiple days a week over on my other channel, which is, of course, twitch.tv/BlackDogZ, just as you see right up there. And then, of course, we have Geezer. Geezer, I'm just going to go ahead and shout you out here. Of course, it's at GeezerHD, so twitch.tv/GeezerHD. And if I could spell, that shout out would have actually worked in the chat as well. There we go. Maybe. Is the shout out system broken, people?
Now you have to spell shout out, right?
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Got it right the second time.
Still can't spell. All right, there we go. So there we go. So there's Geezer, guys. You guys should go give him a follow. He's a great Minecraft streamer. He does stream other games from time to time, but majority of what I've seen is Minecraft. Would you call yourself a dedicated Minecraft streamer, Geezer?
Yeah, Minecraft is a game.
All right.
I mean, we do, like you said, we do play other games once in a while, but that's usually a community thing. Like Friday nights, we do community night. Every other Friday is a community chat night, and then the other Friday is community game night. We'll play a game that we can do as a community. Someday we'll find a Minecraft server that we can all jump on, but yeah. Right now, yeah, Minecraft is the game because it's just things. The Minecraft community is fickle in that if you're playing something other than Minecraft, they don't come. So right now, especially as much as I say don't worry about the numbers, I worry about the numbers in that if I have an average of 50 viewers playing Minecraft, if I play something else, I'll have below 20. And I'm like, okay, yeah, no, this is too hard on me to do that. Plus, I love Minecraft. So
Minecraft is a ton of fun. And I want to take a time to shout out, of course, everybody else that's currently in the channel. We have Omega Primal. Let me go ahead and just... can someone else just type out the shout-outs? Because apparently I'm really bad at it. And then, of course, we have Sprocket. Wonderful, wonderful Sprocket. Sprocket, make sure you type in your channel. Do it. Sprocket is generally a charity streamer, guys. So when you go over to her channel or any channel she happens to be streaming on, and you go to give her a donation, it's not going to her. In general, it's going to a charity. What's the charity this month, Sprocket?
The charity this month is St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital.
There we go. So we've all heard of St. Jude's on different streams and things like that. Seems to be very popular lately. It's great because they do need the money. And so Sprocket is doing that as well, guys. So if you head over to her channel at twitch.tv/Sprocket, you can actually donate to St. Jude's, which is a very, very good cause. Guys, I also want to take the time to let you know that you will see people in the chat with swords. In most other channels, you'd probably consider them moderators or things like that. But here... they're streamers. That's right. Here on the Indie Initiative, everybody with a sword is a streamer, which means that you should go check them out. Some of them are really, really good. They stream all sorts of different games. We've got Minecraft, we've got Black Ops, we've got Battlefield, we've got Destiny, everything under the sun. And if you're not sure who you want to check out, you're not sure if you want to check those guys out, go ahead and give us a follow here at the Indie Initiative. Come live. They constantly go live here on the Indie Initiative, and there's tons of stuff that they love to do. So you can check us out here and then decide if you want to follow them. Exactly. We have art streamers. We have all sorts of different streamers, guys. And our art streamers are so nice. They'll even, sometimes if you ask nicely, they'll do overlays for you. They're always looking for stuff to do, and, always remember, though, guys, if somebody's doing an overlay for you, if you've got the money, send them a tip because they're doing a lot of work for you. All right, guys, why don't we go ahead and jump right into the next thing, coping with non-achievement. Now, I was trying to word this as best as possible. You got a sword.
I do too have a sword, Dewey. my sword actually kills real bugs.
I didn't even see. Did Dewey mention something about not having a sword? Oh, yeah. Geezer doesn't have a sword.
Geezer doesn't have a sword. Yeah, I do.
All right, so I was trying to come up with a way to put this that didn't sound absolutely horrible and could, pertain to a lot of things. And the thing that I'm trying to deal with here is something that Geezer faces, and he's been talking about quite a bit lately, something that I've faced, and probably every other streamer has faced at some point. And I like to call it non-achievement, but literally, when I look at it in my mind, I call it failure.
Yeah.
Hey, don't make me pull up my diamonds. I got diamonds back there.
I want a diamond one.
So
I want a diamond sword.
Let's talk
too
about.
Cheap to buy it.
No, I know what you mean. Mine were gifts, actually. I have a ton of stuff that just gifts, all Minecraft stuff,
Nice.
Minecraft books and things like that. Literally, propping up this monitor is a series of Minecraft books.
My mom bought me a book on the basics of Minecraft. I looked her square in the eye and went, really? Thanks.
Well, actually, I have a Redstone reference book that's actually been helpful for doing
Actually,
vanilla
I've seen
Redstone.
that. I saw that and I almost bought it, and then I realized I don't read books.
Well, that's one reason not to get it.
I was still wondering why the heck I was in the bookstore. I don't know.
So, guys,
Some places I just shouldn't go.
I completely understand that. What I'm saying about non-achievement, when I think of it to myself, I call it failure. Geezer might call it someone else. Other people might call it other things, but this is what I call it as failure. But I want to classify it as like non-achievement because it's not truly failure. And what I'm talking about is something Geezer brought up earlier: not growing. So you're streaming for weeks, days, months, however you decide you want to input your information, and you realize that your numbers aren't growing or they're shrinking, and you have to figure out what to do in order to keep your numbers going up, because that's what we're all here for. All streamers, that's what we want to figure out. If you're not growing, you're stale, and if you're stale, you're failing. And that's the way I've always looked at it, and I think a lot of other streamers do too. Geezer, do you have a specific name for this that you like to call it, or like is non-achievement a word failure? Like, what do you think it's called? Like, I couldn't put my finger on it.
Pain in the butt. I don't know that I have a word for it. I just refer to it as not growing. I mean, here's my mindset is, and we had this discussion on my channel before I took my break.
Mm-hmm.
And because there were some people that were pretty upset when I announced that I was going to take a break. And the discussion was, and what I had said was, we had sat at the same average number of viewers for more than 90 days. And so we sat at, and I think that number was 47. So we sat at 47 average viewers for more than 90 days. And one of my viewers' argument was, that's good, you're staying the same. But the problem is you're not. And this is why. We are constantly seeing new people to the community. That means we should be growing. The problem is we're not retaining the current viewers. So we're gaining new viewers, but we're losing our old viewers. And so I had to, that's one of the things is trying to figure out through our break how to improve viewer retention. Did we come up with anything magic? Nope. I have no idea. But I have been seeing since our breaks, and then, because I came off the break, I came back and streamed for 3 days, I think, and then had to leave again because my mom got sick.
Yep.
So really, last weekend or the weekend before was really our first time back. I knew that when we came back, we'd have less viewers than when we left. But we've seen a number of our old viewers come back now. So, so I kind of take the mindset of, if you're not growing, you're dying, or you're shrinking, because you are losing viewers that have been there before. Even though you might be gaining new viewers, you get five new viewers tonight. Those 5 new viewers become regulars for the next 2 weeks. In 2 weeks from now, one of those regulars stops coming, but you get a new one. Well, you've kept the same level. What the goal needs to be is to keep those, retain those, or add more. So if you lose one kind of regular viewer, you gain 2. So now that's growth. So I don't know. I'm just.
No, and I completely agree there. That is something that we were striving for in my community as well. Like, smaller numbers, albeit, but that's something that I was seeing, that we just weren't getting the growth. And
right.
I had to sit down and look at my channel, and unfortunately, I haven't been live in a little over a month. I've only streamed like 3 times on my channel, and my regulars are aware of that, and I try to keep them posted on Twitter. I try to keep them updated. Red Solo Cup.
You better stream, son.
So I've been starting to stream more often again, guys. I did 2 streams last week on my channel, I think, or was that the week before? I can't remember. But we're starting to get more regulars. I've gotten more ideas for the stream. I'm starting to get back up to where I was. I went through depression, and depression has a lot to do with it. If you're not happy, you're not going to gain viewers. Nobody wants to watch the sad guy stream or the angry guy that's not fun. If you're going to be angry, you got to be fun angry. Like Ezekiel the Third.
Well, that came out during our conversations. As I actually, during our first, we started these community meetings, and I don't know, we haven't done one in a while. We started these community meetings back in June, where once a month we get together, members of our community, and we talk about just the way the community's going. We need to do one for August. Crap. August is almost over. Crap. But one of the things I did in that first community meeting is I intentionally invited people that I knew used to be regulars and stopped coming to the stream and hadn't been in the stream for months. Which they were really shocked that I invited them, but I was like, whatever. There's a reason why everybody in this meeting was in this meeting. But one of the things that came up was, back in the springtime, when I was really fighting hard for partnership, I was a jerk. I was a straight out miserable jerk. And that drove people away, because they didn't come to Twitch to see a jerk on the screen that's depressed and upset. They came to escape that crap. And I kind of knew that going into the call, that's why they weren't there. But it confirmed to me that, yeah, I was being a jerk. I needed to calm down. I needed to not be worried about the stuff and just have fun. So, if I'm not having fun now, I stop. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Is that you got to be careful where you're at when you're streaming. I know I was going through a lot. I'm just starting to get out of that funk. A lot of it was not having a contract. I don't know. Some of you know that I'm a self-employed contractor. It's what I do, and I haven't had a contract for 6 months. And let me tell you, when you're a self-employed contractor, not having a contract for 6 months starts to weigh on the bank account a little bit. You prepare for it, like you save up a lot of money so that you can go 6, 7, 8 months. But once that money starts to run low, you start going, uh-oh, what's going on? Am I going to go get a job at Walmart? And
no!
And it really affects your thinking. And
I could be one of the old people standing at the front door.
Exactly. And let me tell you, it's something that it can really get to you, and you got to try not to let it get to you, and that's a big thing. And sometimes you just got to take a break. But when it comes to non-achievement, guys, the biggest thing I can tell you is that if you feel that you're having issues with your stream, if you feel that there's shrinkage or that there's just not growth, shrinkage is a great word. I absolutely love that word.
Yeah. Dewey brings up a good point. I've gone to the point where I leave notes for myself on how to be on stream. One of the big complaints is the way I dealt with trolls. I have a big sign next to my camera and next to chat so that I can remind myself not to screw with trolls, because I will go off. And I have fun with that, but it's just not appropriate for my channel, right? It's some of the things I would say were just completely obscene, and because I want to make them look like. Never mind.
No, and I completely understand where you're coming from there. Sometimes.
So now I try. Now I try my best to just ignore them, but sometimes I just can't. I'm like, you come in and you say something completely stupid, like my camera's off, and they come in and say, "Hey, you're ugly," and I'm like, are you even watching the stream? Hello. So.
Exactly. Now, when it comes to coping with non-achievement, when you're not seeing growth, when you're seeing shrinkage, the biggest thing that I do want to mention is that there are new features on Twitch that you should be aware of. Not necessarily Twitch, but add-ons to Twitch that maybe not even Geezer knows about. I'm assuming he does because he's been doing this for a long time. He probably knows about these features. But we're going to go over them, and I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about them for those of you that don't. Let's start with Better Twitch TV, guys. Are you aware that Better Twitch TV now has an anonymous system? The Better Twitch TV anonymous system allows people to go into anonymous mode. What this does is that they no longer count as a viewer while they're watching your channel. They also can't type in chat or anything.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't like about it, is you can't type in chat. I'm not okay. I have to preface this whole conversation with I have such mixed feelings about Better Twitch TV. I love it because of what it does, but I will be straight honest. If there was another option, I'd use it.
I completely agree.
I have a kind of a personal thing with the developer of it, so. I will not use any of that person's products except for Better Twitch TV. Another reason, like those that have seen me donate to Bacon Donut in the past, the biggest reason I don't donate to Bacon Donut like I used to is because Geezer HD is banned. No, Geezer HD is banned from Stream Tips.
What?
Because
he's got you blacklisted
because when he started charging, I said I don't feel like paying what you're charging, so I'm going elsewhere, and I've never been able to use Stream Tips since.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So I have to if I want to donate to somebody that uses Stream Tips, I actually have to work around the system, sign into another account on another computer. and donate that way. But that's okay because I've got like 6 million Twitch accounts. So
Yeah, I've got quite a few myself.
I can just pick. So, but so that's kind of, and you know, whatever reason that happened, I don't even care. I'm not even going to get into it. I've gotten heated on stream many times about that situation. I don't even care. But Better Twitch TV is an amazing tool. Again, if there was something else to use, I'd use it. But things like the emotes you can get, not being partnered, I love the fact. One of the reasons we want to get partnered was so we could have emotes. I have a Gee Heart. I have a Gee Cane. I have Gee Creep. Somebody needs to come up with Gee Cooper, please. Something for Cooper. But, you know, so yeah, it's a cool tool. It's not to mention the, you have to set it up though. You have to get it set up right because if you don't, you can get stung as a streamer. There's actually a feature on there. I don't know if he fixed it or not, but it would automatically preview images.
Yes.
That people linked. Well, here's the problem. If you accidentally hover over a link that goes to somebody's server, as soon as you hover over that link and it shows that image, they have your IP address.
Oh, exactly. It'll automatically activate honeypots, and as a streamer,
Yep.
you really need to make sure if you're using Better Twitch TV that you turn off that feature. I really think that's something, and I've messaged him several times. He needs to turn that feature off by default, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
Gosh, I need to do that right now.
Yeah. You don't want people getting your IP address.
Yeah. I mean, this is how protective of my IP I am. No offense to you guys, but before we started this call, I connected my VPN. So, I mean, I don't do anything connecting to anything remotely without going through my VPN.
Well,
and
that's the same thing here. I have a special Skype that I'm using just for this call. I have a VPN that everything is connected through. You need to be as secure as possible. This is actually something we went over in our very first show, being secure on Twitch, because the last thing you need is someone to get your IP address. They can stop you from streaming for weeks.
Oh, and I've gone through many periods of being DDoSed every single night, and I've worked my butt off to not have that happen again.
Exactly.
And I don't want it to happen again. So, I'm not as worried about my Skype getting my IP out there, because you can't get my IP unless you're connected to me. You can't get my IP through Skype because I've done the steps necessary to make my IP private, right?
Yeah.
There's websites out there that you can go to and put in a person's Skype name, and it will resolve them and give you their IP. If you go and put my Skype name in, it'll say unable to resolve.
Well, the only way
if you ask me how to do that, I'll go, I don't know. I did it like a year ago.
Yeah, and there are ways to do that. You can actually just if you Google it, there's information online about it. We went over it again on our first broadcast. And the other thing that you should know about Skype is that the only other way to get someone's IP is to literally be direct connected to them, like I am with Geezer right now. And so generally, you want to know the person you're Skyping with. I've talked to Geezer several times using other applications. I've been in his stream quite a few times, and I gave him the option of using a different application. And that's
even TeamSpeak you can get IPs through.
Yep, you got to watch out for that. If it's not your TeamSpeak and you're connecting to it, you need to be aware of what you're connecting to, because there are admins on there that can get your IP. Like, as an example right now, the TeamSpeak that we use for the India Initiative, there's only 1 or 2 people that can do it, but you need to know those people before you start connecting to a TeamSpeak. Because if you don't know them and you connect to somebody else's TeamSpeak, they could get your IP address, they could do weird things with it, or they might just not have set up their TeamSpeak properly and everyone has access to your IP. It all depends on how it's set up and things like that.
Yep.
So that is definitely something that is very, very important. I can't even remember what we were talking about now. We've gone so off topic. We were with
we were talking about Nonachievement.
Yeah.
And then we talked about everything else. I don't even know, how do we get on this topic?
I don't know.
Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, this is the perfect example of non-achievement. They did not finish what they started off on the topic which they started with.
Wrong kind of non-achievement. No.
I'm only kidding, guys.
This particular issue actually falls under our previous category, managing your time on stream. Guys, did you want to say anything, Omega, Sprocket, on coping with non-achievement, things like that, or just general comments on anything we just talked about?
Yes. When we started in the initiative, we had a lot of viewers in the first weeks and a lot of followers as well. In fact, we had like 900 viewers every day and around like 100 followers every day. Then things started to slow down because the channel was up for a few weeks already. And it was really hard on us because we watched the viewers count going down, the follow count not going down, but less follower was following. But we figured it out how to try to fix that. I mean, and we came with new shows like this one, the HelpDesk, as well as the wrestling show, the FWS, Future Star Wrestling, and we also came with the Bunch of Idiots, or flag show for this channel. And we have more stuff coming in the future because we need more viewers, and the only way to get more viewers is to improve and have more things to offer to them. If you don't offer a new show, if you don't offer new stuff, they won't come back. So we kind of learned that the hard way, but at least we're learning that. And that's also one thing you need to understand. You have to improve your stream all the time.
You have to. The most important thing, and so all that is very true, and can be summed up in one little phrase. You have to keep your audience entertained. And if you're doing the exact same thing every day, no different. If you're not making things better, if you're sitting there, and this is true for newer streamers that haven't gotten used to the talking, haven't gotten used to the interaction. If you're sitting there playing the game and that's all you're doing is staring at the screen, playing the game, not talking, not interacting, why would anybody want to come back? Think of it this way. Would you watch your own stream? Is your stream entertaining enough for you to sit down after you've been streaming for 3 hours and watch your stream for 3 hours? Because I will tell you, I watch every stream I do. Some people can't do that, but
I will definitely state that I do not watch my own stream. When I play Minecraft, I think I have a decent stream, but I can't stand listening to my own voice. But I do. I force myself to watch my stream because you need to be able to recognize what high points, what low points, what you did right, what you did wrong, and you aren't going to be able to unless you watch your own stream. Even if it is a bad stream, you got to force yourself to sit through it so you can figure out what do I need to improve and get it to the point where you'll watch your own stream. Why? Because you're your biggest critic, and if you can get to the point where you'll watch your own stream, chances are there's a lot of other people that will. Sprocket?
Oh, because I'm like the best person to ask for this. I think I have the slowest building community on my own channel of anybody that is on Twitch right now.
I don't know about that.
I have 148 followers after 5 months, but I can honestly say that I have gained over 2,000 followers over every channel that I have streamed on. The only way that I have been able to do this long is I'm a stay-at-home mom. So I draw in a lot of the family streams, a lot of the family viewers. Both of my boys show up on my stream on and off throughout the day. And my own personal channel is a family stream channel. It is a G and at the most a PG stream channel. So I have Little Troll, which you're going to hear in just a second. You're going to have to wait for a cupcake. So that's Little Troll.
I want a cupcake.
We have some homemade chocolate cupcakes. But, I have Little Troll, which is 5, and Little Goblin, which is 2. And they show on and off, and I get the family views. But the good thing about that is they have friends. Sorry, my follower thing is going off. They tell other friends of theirs that have little kids because Little Troll plays cute little games, little educational games that other kids like to play. When I'm on charity channels or on TII, The only way I can get followers on my own channel is if I promote myself. Well, my problem with that is I'm a charity streamer. When I'm a charity streamer, I tend not to promote myself and promote whatever charity that I'm doing.
Right.
Well, that gets followers for the channel that I'm on, because the channels that I'm on are on charity channels. But in turn, because of that, I get the straggler once in a while of the followers for my own channel. I only stream 4.5 hours total on my own stream, but I stream almost 30 hours on other channels throughout the week. So you just kind of got to stay with it. I have the slowest building community, but I love my community. Every time I'm on, I have at least 5 to 15 people that are in there with their kids. If I'm not streaming something that their kids like, the parents stay. So you really do just kind of have to find what works for you. Also, I didn't use a camera for a long time, so thank you Black Dog and Omega and my husband Riva for pushing me into getting a camera. So I don't use a camera, instead I use Face Rig, so that gives somebody else something to look at. I brought in Face Rig, the cute little avatar pops around on my screen while I talk, and oddly enough, that has brought in a lot more viewers for me over the past month. So it really just depends on what you find. You find that one little gimmick or that one little thing that you can do on a constant basis, and it helps you in the long run.
Absolutely. And you know, it took me nearly 9 months to go from 0 followers to 1,000. Once, you know, and then the subsequent year after that, it's like exponential growth, right? The more followers more viewers you have, the more followers, more viewers you're going to get. That's why you look at like big streamers like Bacon Donut, and you look that, oh, he's getting 1,000 followers a night. How do I do that? Well, you get 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 viewers. That's how you do it, because you got more viewers, you're going to have more followers. So it does come with time, and yeah, it can be slow. And in your situation, it makes it more difficult because of the way that you are doing what you're doing. Not that it's wrong. It's just a different way to do it. So it makes it more difficult for your channel to grow. So that makes complete sense. But you're doing good things, so that's a thing. Black Dog fell asleep.
I mean, I would rather get
Mike
those
was
for the
muted.
charity channels that I work on over my own channel, which is why Black Dog mentioned earlier that I needed to make sure that I typed my own name in the shout out instead of one of the charity channels
Right.
that goes on.
So we got one more thing that we want to go over, of course, before break. Then we're going to have a quick break. Everyone can get up, stretch, do what you need to do, and then we're going to go over the second half. The second half is pretty quick. It's a lot more interactive, so that's my favorite part of the show. But let's go ahead, and we're going to do habits on stream, what is okay and what to avoid. Now, this isn't just certain habits. I'm going to be going over a lot of different things. Let's start with trolls. Geezer. So you have this wonderful little thing on your beside your webcam there. It talks about trolls, and so what I want you to do is I want you to tell me what you used to do with trolls and what steps you're taking to avoid that and why it was wrong, why people thought it was wrong anyway.
Well, okay, so let me clarify something. The way I was dealing with trolls wasn't wrong. It was wrong for my channel. And wrong for my community. Every streamer needs to deal with trolls in a way that fits in with how they want their community to be. The way I used to deal with trolls is I would troll them right back. I'd attack right back. I'd go back at them. And sometimes I'd get vile. I'd get nasty. There's a few, phrases that in my head to this day pop in every time I see one of these trolls. And I have to tell myself, don't say that. Because for me and my community, supposedly being family friendlier, me telling, a troll to, where to go and where to shove it probably didn't fit in with the family friendly attitude. So, that was the nice way of saying it, by the way. The clean way, just that kind of thing. So for me now, my number one goal is to let my mods deal with the trolls. Every now and then, I do have to slip. I do slip, and I do have to say something. but it's nothing more than a quick quirp that's completely clean and completely benign. I just have like, you'll have a troll come in and say, which is normal for me, you're fat, and they'll spell it Y-O-U-R. I gotta say you spelled you're wrong. I just got it. And or something to the effect of, yeah, I'm glad you read my frequently asked questions down there, because the number one answer is yes, I'm fat. Number two is yes, I'm old. And, so those things don't bug me. It's just, it bugs me that I have to respond to them. So, but yeah, now my attitude is that I'm just gonna let my mods deal with it and not let it interrupt the stream, and keep the family friendlier mindset going, right? So that's my whole thing. I mean, Bacon handles it one way. Bacon always tells the trolls, "Thanks for stopping by. I hope you find a community that you fit into." Other streamers will do what I used to do: attack them right back. It's however works for you. That's the most important, and fits your community.
As an example, just with my community, when it comes to trolls, one thing that we've done is, first, we don't time out messages. On my community, unless you're actually getting banned, you're not going to receive like a purge. And the reason for that is because by the time somebody gets around and actually purges it, unless it was the bot, you've already read it. Also, if you have better Twitch TV, you see message deleted, what's the first thing you do? Double click it. You want to know what they said.
I've got it said that never gets rid of it. It's just crossed out, so I can still read it. And we have the same rule. Our moderators are the same way in my chat, is that we don't have a purge. Very rarely does somebody get purged. The first offense is a 10-minute timeout. Mm-hmm. Second offense is something, and third offense is I think second offense is a 24-hour ban, and then third offense is a permaban. Now, I kind of take this from Deathridgecraft, is there's no such thing as a permanent ban in my channel, because every 1 month or so I clear my ban list and give everybody a chance to redeem themselves. I have a few viewers that I permanently banned in the past because I was done with them. And they've come back thinking that they were banned and type something to the chat thinking that it wasn't going to be allowed because they were banned, and type in just something nasty, and then it goes through chat because they were unbanned, and then the following one was oops. And then they get banned again.
You gotta love that.
I mean, Dewey, there you go. 10-minute, 1 hour, 24 perm. I don't even know. I don't run my chat. I'll be the first to tell you. I don't. I will say every time it's Cooper's chat. Cooper and the mods. Between the mods know more about what goes on in my chat than I do. Well, I'm just there hanging out.
A lot of your chat, of course, if you do get banned, especially by your bots, your mods are usually nice enough if they know the person that they'll unban them. I know I received a 24-hour ban in Geezer's chat once for accidentally just typing in something wrong, incorrectly, too many times. Yeah. And they immediately unbanned me, which is nice of them, and they're just like, yeah, don't do it again.
What have you done? What have you
Thanks,
done?
Damien.
So that is definitely something that is big on my channel.
I've gotten banned in every single chat I've ever been in. I used to take it personally, but I'm like, yeah, whatever.
I get timed out. Like, I watch blah, 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 blah. I watch Deathridge.
Yeah. I watch them too.
Watch Deathridge as much as I can in the morning. And every morning that I watch, especially if I'm there for the intro, I get banned from his chat for 10 minutes every morning. And the reason for that is because he's got this really cool intro where everybody dances and things like that. But if you type in too many times or you use too many symbols, it bans you. And
I don't get banned in Deathridge's chat anymore. Oh, right, I'm a mod there. That's right. Only Deathridge can ban me.
So that is definitely something that I go through every time I'm there. I go and I start typing, and eventually I get timed out, and I'm just like, okay, now I just gotta wait. But yeah, that's definitely something that in my chat you don't see that. We generally don't ban. And in fact, the one thing that we love to do in my chat is we convert trolls. So somebody comes in trolling. I know every troll in the book. So you see things like Geezer was saying, I'm fat, or things like that. Or there's jump scare links and things like that. Well, the moment you try to do a jump scare link, the bot just removes it. It's just not there. And the easiest way to do that is...
See, for ours, we don't allow links, period,
Yeah.
in our chat. I get, every once in a while, we have something slip where a mod that has been away for a while permits a link, and I'm like, no, we don't do any links. If you want to get me a link, send it to me on Twitter. I'm not doing it.
No, I completely understand that.
Command is the least used command in our commands, and we got some commands we don't run every once but 90 days.
And on my channel, I do allow links, and that's something that may change in the future if we get a lot of bad links. But there are certain things that you just can't link. As an example, if you take a look at my rules, it says no linking off Twitch. So that means you can link any Twitch channel you want, as long as I don't really care. You want to post your chat link, go right ahead. The people in my chat aren't going to go over and watch you unless I say so. And why is that? It's because it's a community. You can post it all you want. In fact, what you're going to do is you're just going to get people mad at you by posting your channel in other people's channels. You don't do that. And so I've allowed it on my channel. If you really want to post it, you go right ahead. I allow Imgur links. So if you want to post on Imgur, if you have something you want to post from there. Now, I do have a mod or two, not a very large channel, that will immediately double check those Imgur links, and if there's something bad, they remove them. And as we grow, that may change, but links are allowed in my channel. But I generally convert trolls. So people troll. They'll do like a straw poi. I don't know if you've ever heard of that one. Probably, I'm assuming. Which is like straw. It looks like straw poll, but it's POII using capital I's. So it looks like straw poll. And what it is that when you go to it, it looks like straw poll. It's a questionnaire that you have to answer. When you click on it, it does a jump scare. It's kind of neat, but at the same time, it's really mean.
Better write this down.
And it's something that somebody attempted to do on my channel, and they were recording it for YouTube. And apparently they do a thing where they do jump scares on Twitch, on YouTube. And it was kind of funny. But I already knew what it was. So when they typed it in, I was just like, we don't allow straw poll links in my chat. And immediately, as soon as they typed in straw poi, it went to ****.me. Which means you couldn't click the link. Yeah. Because straw poi is actually just a banned word. And so then they were like...
Well, now, Twitch changed that system. If it's not exact, so if you have banned, like I had G2A.star.
Yep.
G2A. Anything was banned. If it has G2A. And a letter after it now, it doesn't match. So if you put a letter before or after that banned word,
yep,
or a character, it's not banned anymore.
Now,
so dumb.
I don't use Twitch's ban filter system. I use my bot's ban filter system, which is very similar to the old Twitch system.
I used a combination, right?
Yeah.
I used a combination because, and I don't anymore. I pretty much don't ban anything. We've gotten really lax on our rules because I got really mad about rules one day, and I turned off all the rules. I'm like, you just don't disrupt the stream. I mean, so we got all these unwritten rules that the mods thing. So
no, it's understandable.
I don't know.
And so, like, if you come to my chat, a lot of the things, if a troll comes in, we don't immediately ban them. We actually try to convert them. And half my viewers that come and watch my stream are trolls. And so this is something that I have to watch out for now, because now that I have trolls in my channel, and they're perfectly good viewers for me, I'm not going to want to send them over to Geezer's channel because they're just going to troll them.
Well, perfect example. I used to have the same attitude, right, you mad bro? You mad bro knows. He came into me trolling one day, and he's been a follower and viewer ever since.
I figured you mad bro would be a troll.
Yeah.
And let me tell you,
very good at it.
Let me tell you guys that sometimes trolls can be some of your best viewers. I think one of my best days on Twitch was when I had 4chan, 50 people watching me. Did I have to put my chat into sub mode? Absolutely. Did I gain 50 followers that were not the 4chan members? Yes. And
second longest, you mad? Not longest. Sorry. Hate to break that to you.
And let me tell you, sometimes you can get some really good trolls out there that can be really good friends. But it's all about getting them to realize that they're not here to troll you. They're here to have fun. And if trolling is what's fun for them, then they'll leave. But, if they find your stream enjoyable, who knows? The next thing I want to move on to is still habits on stream. Smoking and vaping. This is something that I brought up in several other people's channels because I wanted to know their opinion on. I know Geezers wanted to know people's opinions on this, and I want to know I want to know chat's opinion. You'll notice that there has been vaping on stream here. This is something that I do on my channel. This is something that I have always done. I believe that I personally think that it is fine, but I really want to know other people's views on it, how they look at it, and things like that. Let's start with Geezer. I know he had some thinking about it that he had to do. I want to know if he watched the VOD that I was talking to him about yesterday.
I couldn't find it. I scrubbed through it. I couldn't find the section.
Yeah, it was a short segment.
I lost interest. Looking up. So here's my thing. I will not smoke on stream. Hopefully because I don't smoke anymore. But there was a couple times that I messed up, and but most of my viewers didn't have any clue that I smoked. Because I would shut off my camera when I did it. The vaping thing, I'm still kind of up in the air about. And believe it or not, I was sitting in a vape shop today having this discussion with the guys behind the counter, who are all Twitch viewers and streamers, which I think is the funniest thing in the world. But just talking about it, and kind of, I think you and I talked briefly the other day about it. I don't even remember. Was that on when I was streaming?
Yeah, that was when you were streaming.
About kind of what came out during the
obligatory
conversation.
Yep.
Was, and it makes sense, and this is kind of what I'm thinking now is take away smoking, take away vaping, take away any habit that you have, whatever that is. Don't even consider what the actual thing is. If you stick to this one thing in everything you do, you'll be fine. What do you want your stream to be? What do you want your stream to be about? If you want it to be about the game and only the game, that's what's on stream. If you want it to be about your community, that's what you need to hype. If you want it to be about vaping, vape on stream. Because since I started vaping 2 weeks ago, what's the number one topic of conversation in our stream?
Oh, vaping.
Vaping. So, I mean, drink on stream, yeah, well. So if you want it to be a part of the stream, then let it be a part of the stream. But know that it's going to be a part of the stream. Whether it's smoking, whether it's drinking, whether it's vaping, whether it's picking your nose, it's going to be a part of the stream.
Yep. And that was definitely something that I had when I was originally a smoker, and I was streaming on Hitbox. I'm sad to say. I didn't smoke on stream. Yeah, shut up.
Hit what?
I didn't smoke on stream, and the reason for that is because I personally thought that smoking was filthy. I still think that smoking is filthy, and that people should get off of it where possible. I personally don't agree with some people. Some people think that vaping is filthy. I think that it is actually a much, much cleaner system. Do I think that people should vape if they don't smoke? No. It is a tool to use to get off smoking. Whether or not you quit vaping is up to you. People smoke for one reason. They smoke for the nicotine. That's what they want. And I will tell you right now that nicotine...
I did it because I was cool.
That nicotine does have an addictive property, but it does have some positive properties as well. If you read, there's actually some doctor's stuff on vaping that actually shows the positive effects of nicotine. The problem is that smoking has a bunch of negative effects itself because of all the extra stuff that's in it. Vaping does not have those. Now, is vaping good for you? We don't know. Probably not.
That's my favorite phrase right now is if you smoke, vape. If you don't smoke, don't vape, don't do any of it.
Yep.
Actually, what is the command? I got a command now. It is, I'm looking into my own chat right now. Sorry, hold on. It says, Geezer has quit smoking by switching to vaping. If you don't smoke, don't vape. If you aren't 18 years or older, don't vape. If you are alive, don't smoke. So, I mean, that's, to me, I smoked 2 packs a day for 30 years. And when I started vaping 2 weeks ago, I had no intention of quitting smoking. I just was gonna vape because it was kind of cool looking, and I wanted to give it a shot. Within 3 days of starting vaping, I was smoking less than 4 cigarettes a day. I have had one full cigarette in the past week. I've lit cigarettes, taken a drag, and went, no.
It's horrible, isn't it?
Mainly not because I wanted a cigarette, is because it's a habit for me to sit at my desk right here, reach over, not even thinking about it, grab the pack of cigarettes, and light a cigarette. It's so ingrained in my head, and I'm still getting used to grabbing my vape. Now today I've had this battle because I've been having problems with my tanks. I've had like flavor issues. I've had just issues today.
And you know what your problem is with that, Geezer? Give me 1 second.
The flavor issue?
No, your problem is you don't have enough tanks.
Dude,
here we go again.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4 tanks and a dripper, man. I only been vaping for 2 weeks. For crying out loud. Yeah, well, this one is new today. I got a Sub Tank Plus today.
Oh, is that the Plus? How is that?
Yeah.
I used the Mini, and it's the same version, but it's Mini, and I wanted to know if it was about the same.
Well, I mean,
it's bigger, but
size difference.
I noticed that the airflow on the bottom looked a little different. I just wanted to know if it felt the same draw.
No, they changed it.
Oh, did they?
It's now.
Oh, it is the same. Okay.
Style, the last version, but actually, what I did find today is that the coil heads don't go into this one right.
Oh, nice.
We'll talk about that later.
All right.
Today I've sworn off the OCC coils, so I won't use them anymore.
So that goes over.
We can talk about that later. Again, what did I just say? If you want it to be a part of your stream, go ahead and do it, because it will become a part of your stream.
Exactly. So that's definitely another habit on stream, what's okay and what's to avoid. The other thing that I want to talk about is habits on stream, what's okay. The biggest thing here is that talking on stream is a habit. It is, technically. It's something you have to get into the habit of doing. And if you don't talk enough, it's a bad thing. You'll notice here on the BDZ Help Desk, someone is talking at all times. If we all sat silently here for a moment, and it would just seem awkward, me and Geezer would be staring off into the distance. We have two other people in the team speak, not talking. And if somebody wasn't talking, I think that everyone would just leave because the show would be over.
I won't allow that. I can't shut up. Come on. What the hell are you talking about?
I know you're in a room that has one person that talks for a living, another person that both stream and talk for a living, and then you have me that just never shuts her mouth up. It's been very hard for me to sit here quietly to listen to you guys talk, just so you know.
And this is something that, we have to pass on to newer streamers. I can't count the number of times where I go and I watch a new streamer. You, Matt, I'm looking at you for this one. You go and watch your channel. You need to talk more.
Here's my best piece of advice for new streamers. Okay. Turn off your viewer mindset. As soon as you hit the start streaming button, turn off your viewer mindset. If you look over at chat and go, oh, I have to respond to that, and then move your mouse over to chat and start typing, stop. Talk. Stop typing in chat. I never, hardly ever, once in a while, very rarely, I almost never type in chat once I go live. The only thing I'm doing in chat once I go live is type, bot commands. But even that, you don't see that out in chat anymore because I can whisper commands to bot, right? Mm-hmm. But I had a new streamer I was watching the other day that was responding to me, not only talking, but typing it. And I'm like, just no. This is your opportunity to interact with chat, have a conversation with your mouth. If I just wanted to chat with you, I'd run into a chat room with you. I want you to interact with me as a streamer on the screen. This gives you the opportunity. If you're avoiding that opportunity, that's all I can say about that.
And the one thing I will take the time to state is when it comes to talking, guys, an easy way to learn how to talk, if you're not aware of how to do it yet, like if you go on a stream and you find that you're not talking when other people are around, record a YouTube video. Don't even release it on YouTube, but record a YouTube video and watch it. And the reason I say that is because with YouTube, there is no one else to talk to, but you need to continue to talk. And so it's a great way to learn a habit because you're not actually live talking to anyone.
No.
And that's actually how I learned to constantly talk. I was never one much for talking originally, but I decided that, this seemed like fun. I wanted to live stream. I wanted to record videos. And so I learned how to constantly talk. And honestly, if you were to go back and watch some of my very beginning streams, I didn't talk all the time like most new streamers. And it was something I learned very quickly, that you just need to talk.
Yeah, when I first started, I was the same way. I've kind of my background is I've got a degree in radio, television, broadcasting. I did this on the radio, but I did talking in 1 minute to 2 minute segments, and then it was music, and then I'd say 88.5 KRNR, and then my name, and Mankato is best, but because I've been Mankato myself, but. Do that. It wasn't this. It's not the same. You have to have. This is more. The Twitch is more like doing a morning radio show where you have 5 hours, 6 hours. How many hours you have to fill with content? The difference is, most of those have music in them. They have skits. They have some of them repeat the same thing they did an hour ago, so they just play it back. Here we have to continually talk, and I started out just basically narrating what I was doing, so YouTube all right, so here we are, we're in the overworld, I need to build a house, and I need cobblestone for that, I think. Yeah, so yeah, I started out the same way, and to this day I still narrate everything I do, right? I talk through, but instead of narrating it like that and talking at the audience, I bring the audience in and involve them in what we're doing. So instead of saying, all right, I'm going to go build a house, I said, all right, let's go build a house. We're going to build a house. Let's go over here and do this. We're going to need this. We're going to need that. You'll notice the phrasing. We're going to do it. We're a group. We're a community. We're doing it together. It's not just me. And that's how my community is. That's how my stream is. And that's successful for me. That doesn't mean that's going to work for you.
Yep.
There are streamers out there that the focus is the streamer. The focus is the entertainer, the person on the screen. So yeah, then it's about, hey, I'm doing this. You're here to watch me do this. This is the way it is. That's how they built their community, right? And it works for them. You have to figure out what works for you, for your personality, for what you want your community to be like, and just what's successful. You got to experiment.
Exactly.
But go ahead, sir.
All I was going to say is that, and you got to remember, guys, that I know there are some people here on the Indie Initiative, and there are other streamers that don't use webcams, and this is perfectly fine. But if you don't use a webcam, you need to have even more inflection in your voice. You need to be able to, like, if my webcam wasn't going or Geezer's webcam's not going, you need to make sure that when I'm listening to you, I hear such inflections that can tell me that you talk with your hands, that you, Geezer. That you do things like that, or like even that picture that Geezer had up there for a moment. It gives you something to talk at, and that's a big thing. Just even having a photo of something or something. But you need to have the inflections so that you can tell exactly what you're talking about. You have to have the passion, the drive in your voice. You can't just sit here and talk like this, because if you sat here and talk like this all day without a mic, no one would listen. Oh, you have to have a mic to talk. Even with a webcam, people might not stick around.
I don't know. You need a mic. Yeah, and that's, have a conversation with your viewers. Don't talk at them. Have a conversation with them. Involve them in the conversation. If chat dies, I found myself, I'm guilty of it, complaining to my mods that chat died. Why didn't you do something about it? And then I every time I stop and I go, I'm a jerk. It's my job to keep the chat going. If there's a lull in chat, either nobody's there, or I'm not engaging chat enough that they're feeling drawn in. So, that's, I don't know. So yeah, I mean, just keeping chat engaged. But again, it all goes down to what is comfortable to you, what makes sense for you, and how you want your stream to be. So,
Oh, exactly. All right, guys.
I think that's the answer to everything.
Yep.
Other than 42.
Omega Sprocket, do you have anything you want to add to habits?
Well, I guess. Go ahead.
Omega, go ahead, sweetie.
Oh, okay. Like I said in the chat, talking to yourself is mostly the key. Of course, you want to involve the chat too. So you may ask them questions to force them to answer and stuff like that. But if it's not working, then talking to yourself is really the key. I make a joke earlier saying that people in my building think that I'm nuts because I always talk to myself. I'm not nuts. I'm just preparing myself for my stream to make sure,
Oh, I've found myself. I constantly am talking to myself on stream and off stream, and I'll be sitting working on a customer's system network, and I'll be typing and I'll be talking through what I'm doing because I think out loud like that, right? And one of my customer will walk in and go, "What?" And I'm like, "Just never mind." I'm typing things.
That's some kind of habits you start to have when you start streaming because you talk to yourself too much, and it became some kind of normal to you to do so. So, but yeah, it's the key. If you're not talking to yourself, if you're not trying to involve the chat, it will just not work because nobody else will care. You have to do the job yourself. Rocket, your time now.
I think I've covered this on one of our other shows, Black Dog, that you always need to talk. And this is exactly what you guys were saying. I get into the habit, like I said earlier, I don't have that many people that come into my channel. But I get those days where I see that there's just lurkers there. So I get into this habit of explaining what I'm doing in the game, especially when today, a game that I was playing today, it's a new game. It's either just released out to sell or doesn't release until next week. It's one or the other. I can't remember. But I was explaining the game as I was going through because there was not a lot of people that were actually talking in chat, though we had like 30 people in the chat today. Just nobody was actually talking. So I just started explaining about the game. Well, going through the game, I just kind of poke fun at myself while I'm doing it because I'm horrible at this game. I mean, I just kept dodging into getting hit instead of away from it. And it got a couple people to do it. So if you got lurkers in your channel and you think they're listening, talk about the game that's going on and then just throw in this weird off-the-wall comment to see if it gets them riled up to start talking to you. Because all of a sudden it's going from this story of what you're talking about in the game to something completely different. It started my talk back up in a lot of the chats that I've been in. As far as the do's and don'ts, what to avoid in your stream, one of my biggest pet peeves, I believe is also quite a few of the other viewers, is people eating on stream. If you need to eat, please take a 5-minute break or 10-minute break, grab some food and eat. Try not to eat live while you're streaming. If you do, have a picture up or something and mute your mic while you're chewing so people don't hear you do it. I'm there to listen to the people play or the music or watch the gameplay, not listen to somebody eating in the background while you're supposed to be watching stream. My other one is I smoked for 25 years. I quit, hands down, didn't pick up anything else to do. I just stopped smoking a cigarette in the middle of smoking and I had a half pack of cigarettes left and I walked away. I don't like smoking on screen, but if you were a smoker and you picked up a vape to use, I'm okay with that because to me that's you're trying to help yourself in the long run with it, and I would rather see healthy people doing healthy things than people doing horrible things to their body while they're streaming.
Exactly. So here's my thought on the food eating on stream. I generally agree with that. For me, I make exceptions every now and again. I'll eat a cookie on stream, but I mute my mic. Or I have a very good noise gate that you're not going to hear me chew. That is my pet peeve as well. The only other exception to that is treat stream. I don't feel right eating the treat stream off stream because a viewer spent their
paid
money
for that, yeah.
Yeah, a viewer spent their money to send me a pizza or a pasta. I'm gonna hang out, and most of the people understand. I'm gonna eat that on stream, but I'm not gonna stick my mouth in the microphone and chew my food. I'm gonna be a lot quieter because I'm gonna be back from the microphone eating. But then I'm really sensitive about, okay, am I chewing with my mouth shut? I'm sitting, I picture myself sitting across from the hottest girl in the world who agreed to go out to dinner with me on a date. And I'm going to mind my P's and Q's even better than that. So, I'd say my mother, but she's seen me throw M&Ms in the toilet, so I don't know.
As far as eating on stream, I do want to take this time to state one thing. Eating on stream, like Geezer said, if it's a treat stream, it's understandable because somebody paid for that. They paid for you to enjoy it. They want to see you enjoying that. Please mute your mic. Geezer does. Absolutely love it. I can't stand, and I've had even big streamers. I'm not going to state names, but I've had big streamers eating on stream, and you can hear them eating, and I can't stand that sound. And the one thing I will tell you...
There's some streamers that when somebody complains about it, they do it louder.
Yeah, I know.
They'll stick their mouth right up to the mouth and do it because they don't care. Those are the streamers... All those that are successful, and I'm not going to name names. I have 3 of them in my head right now. All those that they're successful, they have built their stream that it's all about them, and they don't give a damn what a viewer has to say. And that's the attitude they have. But you go to their chats are a disgrace. Their chats are insane. It's all horrible. There's no community there. It's all about the streamer. That goes back to what we talked about before. What do you want your stream to be about?
I always like to state one thing when it comes to eating food, and it's basically this. There are 2 types of viewers. There are viewers that don't care and viewers that can't stand it. You will never see a viewer that loves to watch someone eat on stream. So you will never annoy anybody by going off stream or by muting your mic to eat. But if you sit there and you noisily eat into your mic, you are going to piss someone off. And I may have actually heard that in your chat, Geezer. So that is honestly my favorite saying. I thought I heard it maybe in Geezer's channel, but it might have been anywhere. Who knows? In Doritos.
I don't really count the treat streams only because that is, one of your viewers or one of your followers buying you something. It's like them buying a game for you and you not playing it. I mean, it's just, it's rude. I don't count those. And Damien, I wasn't dissing vaping. I was saying I would prefer nothing to be on stream that has to do with it, but I would rather see somebody vaping than smoking on stream. So there's a big difference between the two there. I will give huge kudos to the people that are using vapes over smoking because it's better for them.
That's exactly
just
it.
Me.
So we're going to go go ahead.
And we can say that for sure now because the Dewey's government came out with a report yesterday that said vaping is 95% safer than smoking.
Oh, did they finally release that report?
Thank you, UK.
Yeah, the UK is...
Since everybody, all the politicians in the US want to be Europe, hey, we should be like Europe.
The UK is the only country that is really actually delving into vaping and looking into it as a country. I know Canada and the US are just trying to ban it outright in a lot of places. Yeah. And it's good to see that, there's a country stepping forward. And the UK is actually, putting in proper legislation and stuff into place for vaping that is promoting vaping. And I think they're doing it right. And I think that if the UK actually steps forward, they do it right, and they tell the other countries to do it right, the other countries may step forward and do the same thing. I don't know about the US, but Canada looks towards the UK as well as the US in order to figure out what they're doing.
US looks towards who gives them the most money. Okay.
Yeah.
No more vape talk.
All right, guys, it's break time, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to take a quick break, couple of minutes here. We're going to play some music. We've got some commercials that are going to go through. Some of them you've seen before. We're going to go through. We're going to play those. One of the commercials is done by me. It is absolutely horrible, but I'm improving it as best I can and getting more commercials made all the time, guys. So let's go ahead. We're going to go to break. You guys enjoy the commercials. We'll be back in 5 minutes or less.
What's up, people? Indy's here, and I want to talk to you about something amazing called the Indie Initiative. The Indie Initiative is a variety channel on Twitch that is live almost 24/7. Just go to twitch.tv/the Indie Initiative and check it out. We made this channel as a way to help streamers come together, form communities, gain followers, and build up their own channel. We have all kinds of stream on that channel. We have indie gamers, we've got AAA gamers, we've got people that make art, and they all bring something different for you to get that perfect Twitch experience. With new streamers joining every month, you will always discover somebody that you didn't know about. We have some great things coming up in the near future that you don't want to miss. I really want you to come to the channel at twitch.tv/the Indie Initiative and check it out. You might even want to apply and join these amazing streamers yourself. So come on and check it out. This is Indy, and I will talk to you later. Peace. What's up, people? Indy's here, and I want to talk to you.
attention, please. devices or parcels unattended anywhere on the station. Any unattended articles are likely to be removed without warning.
And we're back, everybody. All right, so now we're going to get back into the second half of the stream, guys. I want to thank you all for letting us take a break there, get up, stretch, grab drinks, grab food, grab whatever we needed. And Flash just crashed. This has been a wonderful stream, guys. I'm actually going to have to kill chat. Give me one moment here, guys.
Rip
Bye-bye.
chat.
And task.
Group chat.
And come on, Firefox.
Yeah,
there we
Rip.
go.
Chat.
So at least I don't have to end the broadcast for this. But
Start over again.
yeah, we're gonna have to start completely over. No, I'm just joking. All right, so let's go ahead and switch over to our actual scene here. Now that we've got everything reloaded, and that's not right. Wrong window. You guys are looking at my music player. There we go.
No music.
All right, so now we are on to the second half of the stream, guys. Again, thank you for letting us take a break. I hope everyone had a chance to get up, stretch, and do what they needed to do. All right, Geezer, you've been streaming for how long again?
Started November 3rd, 2013.
So,
So just about 2 years.
just about 2 years. And so I'm assuming that you've picked up some settings that you really, really like. And everybody always constantly asks about what your OBS settings are, what your green screen settings are. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about your setup?
So you want to know what my setup is? Or
Well, let's start with,
my setup?
do you use OBS? Do you use that other one that I don't like? XSplit, that's
So
the
I
one.
use. Yep. So I use to broadcast. I use OBS. I use OBS, the good old fashioned OBS, and OBS multi-platform.
Okay.
Mainly OBS though, because there's some of the features that I need for my broadcast are not available in multi-platform yet. So that's going to be some time before I actually switch. I like the new OBS multi-platform. I think it's a much slicker interface.
It is a much better interface, but
Yeah,
the add-ons aren't
but-
there yet.
yeah. And they're not all reliable. The browser one, still doesn't have the features that I use in my stream now. Like I don't have any window captures in my setup. I use all CLR browser, so I don't have to sit and make sure every time I start a stream that, oh, yep, this region captures right and this window's in the exact right place. I still do this window's in the right place thing because of my OCD, but like right now, there's just so many things open that I don't normally have open that I'm like, it just looks messy to me. Like I don't normally have Skype open. I don't. When I'm on a call like this, I'm actually using XSplit to broadcast my camera, right? So I've got my camera here I've got all the full control over what you're seeing in Skype, the same way I do if I'm streaming, right? So I could do a whole show inside Skype, you know. OBS doesn't have that option. I think there might be a plugin for it. But natively XSplit has that. So I use a combo, but for streaming primarily OBS. As far as the settings go, typically I will I'll encode at around 2,000 kilobits per second. Unless we get source, then I bump it up to 3,400. If we get source, then I bump it up to 3,400, and it makes it better. And everybody complains that they're buffering, and I have to tell them, "Oh yeah, change your source." And pretty much all the other settings, I think, are the default out of the box settings for OBS. I think I might have tweaked a few things, but I couldn't tell you what they were over time. As far as green screen goes, it's all about lighting. It's all about your proper lighting and camera. I mean, I don't use a webcam for my camera. I use a camcorder. So it helps with green screen a lot better. Plus, it's more HD. And I kind of got to live by that since that's my last name. So it really comes down to lighting. I've got, like right now, I've got 4 lights. I've got my main light. I've got light that shines on my back, and then I've got 2 lights on my background.
Now,
making sure that light on your background is even is the number one most important thing, right?
yeah. Do you have LED, or are you still using incandescent?
Yeah, I use LED. Anything else is too hot.
Oh, I'm aware of that. So I'm using incandescent light, 1,000 watts each. I have 3 of them, and let me tell you, it gets quite hot. And then you'll notice down in the side here, there's a problem with my green screen. I actually just looked over. That's my dog. She's been messing with the green screen the last little while. She actually knocked it over because my green screen's on a stand because of the way the room's designed. And my dog just loves to play with it. Right now, she's rolling around on it. So you'll see that the fuzziness is going to change as time goes on.
Well, I mean, mine is mine. I have my office is dedicated to streaming, so that's all that's in here, right? So, my green screen is on a wall, right, and it's about 5 feet behind me, I think, something like that. But I mean, basically, if I go here, I can shut it off. Oh God, I hope I didn't mess it up. You can see this bugs me. This all bugs me. All these wrinkles bug me because that's where those differences come in.
Yep.
The more smooth the color is, the more the easier it's going to be to set, right? And I have a feeling I just screwed this up.
Nah, it worked. And when you have wrinkles and stuff, you have
it.
to set similarity settings. And then if you set too many similarity settings, like me right now, you'll notice because I'm using a black background, the cord on my mic is coming in and out. My hair is kind of fuzzy. And that's just because it is wrinkled. And a lot of that has to do with, I try to keep mine nice and straight, but my dog loves to play with it. So it's impossible to keep straight. Sometimes I want to put a door in my office.
Even with me having my green screen flat against the wall, I still have wrinkle problems. And that's why I keep saying one of these days I'm gonna paint the damn wall because I'm tired of dealing with wrinkles. But I just never do because I'm lazy like that.
Well, when I took over this room as my streaming office, I really wanted to do that. When we bought the house, I looked at the office and I went, I can't do it. So around the entire office is a shelf around the entire edge of the office, which is perfectly fine. But then they have entire 2 walls of it is bookshelves.
No.
And it's just, I have to completely change it if I wanted to do it.
Well, when I first moved in here, I actually had my desk face the opposite direction, actually 90 degrees to the right, and I was faced this way, right? Mm-hmm. Well, the problem is there's a window right here, and the green screen, no matter what I did, I couldn't block out all the light. I couldn't even get it to go away putting cardboard over it because there was always some kind of light showing through. That's when I turned everything. And now, I can go way over here and, still be on the camera. But that also is a problem because this is the problem with painting my wall is the very edge of the wall over there, like this much of the floor shows. So, and I haven't come up with a way to adjust my camera to get that out of there so that it's just wall. Well, I'd have to paint the floor green. And I'm not doing that. My landlord already going to have a problem with the fact that I cut a hole in the wall to run my cables through the wall for the computer.
So. Oh, wonderful. And, that's the things that you got to do, guys. You got to keep your computer away because your computer makes noise, things like that. Little things can make huge differences. Do you use a hardware audio compressor and stuff?
Yeah, I've got a crazy audio setup. So I have my Shure SM7B that goes into a PreSonus tube preamp, and then it goes into a DBX compressor, and then it goes into a Behringer mixer, and then goes into my computer from there. So.
Now, I will state, guys, that a lot of what you're hearing is what I would literally call a professional stream setup. Geezer's probably one of the few people I know who isn't currently partnered that is perfectly ready for partner. He's got everything you would ever need for a professional stream setup, and his stream shows it. His voice is absolutely crisp on his stream. Here it might be a little bit fuzzy just because I think my computer's acting up.
Damn your computer!
Yeah, I know. I've been having issues with it off and on. I had just put in a new sound driver. Who knows?
Well, it could be actually there. I have been having issues with my Skype audio and my TeamSpeak audio, which is the same thing. That I haven't quite worked out.
That could be it. Either way, you can tell that his voice is crisp, clean. You take a look at his camera, and although, I'm on 720p, 30 frames a second, you can tell the difference between my camera and his camera. And the fact that he actually has a background, I don't. I'm still working that out.
I will say that your color is a little off.
Yeah, I know. I'm still working on that. And that's because I had to reformat the computer, and I've been working on everything. It took me 3 months to get my camera and everything working the way I wanted it perfect. You couldn't see the background. You couldn't see this blurriness when I moved too quickly. But now it's happening more since I formatted the computer. I've had to redo all the settings and things like that, and nothing seems to work right.
Starting over can be a blessing and a curse at the same time.
Exactly. So my video quality has definitely gone down since that, but am I going to continue with Galactic Science? Of course I'm going to continue with Galactic Science. I just don't know when. The thing is, guys, like, you're going to have problems with streams. The one thing that we say here on the TII, for every person that streams here, we let them know, TII actually has a ghost in the machine. If you stream on TII, you're going to have issues, no matter what. Even if you have everything perfectly set up. Like, I pre-set up the fact that Geezer was going to be on Skype and things like that. And you'll notice as soon as I brought him live, he was in the wrong window. I don't know why, he just was. So then I had to redo the whole thing.
That's not limited to you. That's streaming. You're gonna have problems. You can't get away from it. No matter what you do to prepare for it, you're gonna have problems. And I mean, I've got three UPS. I've got 3 UPSs, and in case the power goes out, because South Carolina power is not the most reliable thing in the world. And I still, even though everything is backed up, when the power goes out, I have to stop. I shouldn't have to stop because we get these power outages like constantly here. Like, it'll go out for 10 seconds 3-4 times a day. And luckily, it doesn't happen on stream that much. But when it does, I still have to stop, even though everything's backed up. Everything's on a UPS. Everything can run I could run my stream probably for about 20 minutes without any power in the house, right? But it's still, no matter how much you plan for it, stuff's going to go wrong. I mean, I've got, to be safe, and because I'm kind of a geek hoarder when it comes to equipment, I've got an extra mixer in my closet. I've got 3 extra microphones I can use. I've got 4 sets of headphones. I've got, I think 3 extra monitors in the garage. The only thing that's ever bitten me in the butt was like things like power supplies going out on computers and that kind of thing. But, or video cards. But I've got I think right now I've got 3 extra video cards in my computer room. I've got an extra power supply now sitting there. So I'm ready for that because I'm not ready for it. Well, I'm going to be ready for it next time. Then that never happens again. Something else happens. Something else goes wrong. A light goes out. I get mad and decide I'm going to rip down my green screen on stream once.
And that happens, guys. You've seen me. I've streamed once or twice without my green screen because the dog knocked it over, and I was just like, I'm not setting it back up.
My viewers have seen me get mad at it and actually get up and rip it off the wall and say, screw it, we're not doing green screen tonight.
And so it's things that happen, and I think that's a lot of what makes live streaming so fun and spontaneous is the fact that you never know what can happen. And even with the perfect settings, you'll never get everything right, and you'll never find the perfect settings. You're constantly changing them.
Exactly, and that's me. I always am striving to improve the stream, and it's taken me this long to get to where I am today. And I think there's still a lot of things that I can do different, that I need to do different, and I just need to take the time to do it. Like I need to get a different model of mixer board to do exactly what I wanted to do, right? Because this issue with my Skype and TeamSpeak audio quality drives me nuts. Now, here's the nice thing. I can't hear that. I hear my normal what it would sound like to the stream audio. And it's different because it comes out of a different source, right?
Yep.
So it's I kind of wish that I could hear what you hear in this case, but right now I hear what my stream would hear if I was live.
Oh yeah.
If that makes sense.
The other thing that I do want to let people know, of course, is that there are many, many things, and a lot of people tell me this one major thing when it comes to preferred stream settings. There's a setting that you need to have that you're not aware of, and that is hearing yourself. Geezer knows he can hear himself. And the thing is, a lot of people are like, well, I couldn't stand listening to myself, but you do it every day in normal life constantly. When you speak, you hear yourself. So if you wear a headset like I'm wearing today, I'll just take it off here for a moment. It's got, just little foam pads. It's not sealing or anything like that. I can hear myself talk, and that's a big thing. But I can hear my stream as well coming through my headset. So that allows me to hear everything properly, mostly the way you guys are hearing it. But there are much better ways to do it. If you have a high-end headset, you could always use where'd that thing go? I hit it. I have a 7.1 audio adapter in here that adapts to USB. Now this actually allows feedback so that you hear your own voice in real time. There's no delay. I think a lot of the problem that people have is the slight delay that most audio systems have, and that throws you off. If you're trying to talk and you can hear yourself on a slight delay, so you can either get, if you want to go cheap, because this is all about cheap. Here it is. You can use this. Does that have automatic feedback?
So the Blue Yeti is actually a sound card.
Okay.
It's actually a sound card. It's got a connection on the bottom for headphones. Before I switched over to mixer based, that's what I used. I used my Blue Yeti. I plugged my headphones directly into the Blue Yeti, and then on the front there's a volume.
Yep.
That's the volume for what's going into your ears.
Nice.
So I had all my audio going through the Blue Yeti with the bow tie, and so I could hear myself live. There was no delay. If you're running your audio through your computer, it has to. You think about it for a second. It has to go through your mic, get converted from analog to digital, then it has to go into the computer, get processed in the computer, come out the headphone jack, and go to your ears. There's going to be a slight delay, no matter how good that is. Mm-hmm. In my case, because I use a mixer, I don't listen to the audio from my computer. I listen to the audio coming out of my mixer. So I hear it before it ever even goes to my computer. So and for me, the analogy that I use is that listening to yourself, everybody that complains about listening to their own voice needs to think about there's one thing that you use every single day that when you use it, well, maybe not everybody uses it every day, but everybody, when you use it, you are hearing yourself. That's the telephone. Your phone puts your voice back into your ear so you can hear what you're saying. If you do not have that, you will sound weird to the person on the other end of the line.
Mm-hmm. And the biggest thing about not hearing yourself, and this is one thing you'll notice, record yourself not being able to hear yourself wearing good noise-canceling headphones or whatever, and you'll notice that you are, first of all, generally have a higher pitch in your voice, and second of all, you're nasally. And I don't know why that is, but everybody seems to do that when they're talking and they can't hear themselves. It's a very, very big thing. So you can get one of these. This is a $3 item on Amazon. It's a 7.1 adapter for sound. And you plug your headset and your mic into this, and then all of a sudden you can hear yourself immediately without processing. And when you do that, you'll find that it works much better. And it's got volume controls just like the Yeti does. And this is basically like the poor man's mixer. I have a mixer myself. It's not as nice as Geezer's, but I do have a small little 4-channel mixer that I use with the microphone that's down on the floor right now. This microphone does not use the mixer. It's straight USB. And the reason I'm using this right now is because of our stream 3 weeks ago that was about you can literally use any equipment to stream. This is a $20 headset. And I just haven't switched back since. And look, we can see Geezer's setup. Oh man, that thing is absolutely amazing looking. And look, when I talk, you can see me bouncing around on there.
Yep.
Oh man, that's a nice mixer. And honestly, guys, if you want a mixer and you want it done on the cheap, my recommendation, honestly, where I got my mixer, go to a pawn shop.
Yeah.
There are many people that have bands in your local area that have old mixers that they pawned off.
I would also say that if you're going to do a mixer, don't worry about a USB input, because I did the USB input for a while. It causes so much noise. It causes noise that you don't notice. It can really affect the quality of your audio. All of my outputs on my mixer are analog, and they go analog into the computer. So I have a headphone jack that plugs into the
Line out.
thing. Yeah. It goes into a hole in one place and goes in a hole in the other. It's not USB. And it's so much better. I mean, I've got so many sound cards in my systems. I think my streaming PC has 4 sound cards in it. So that I can have all these different audio sources, because my Minecraft, my gaming PC is on one channel. My Winamp is on one channel, another channel. My TeamSpeak and Skype is on another channel. My mic is on another channel. My casting PC is on another channel. It's just I literally have all the channels on my mixer full, and that's one of the reasons I need a mixer. I need more channels. So
Well, and the biggest thing here, like I've only got 2 now, sound cards, and you can only separate it so much, and the more you separate it, the more sound cards you're going to need. Sound cards aren't overly expensive, but you got to have a motherboard that's going to be able to support that many sound cards, or else then you're looking at expansion slots and things like that. And
So here's what I've started doing, though, and I'm kind of moving towards this. Is I bought 2 USB. What brand are they? They were like $40. They're little USB. They're designed for laptops.
Mm-hmm.
They literally plug into your USB and give you a mic in and a headphone out. And
that's exactly what this is, right?
It's freaking amazing, and it's worked so much better. So I don't have to run for that particular output from an input from on my mixer. I don't have to run a cable through the wall to the computers on the other side of the wall. So that makes it a lot less room for interference, because I'm not running past electrical wires. I'm not running past monitor cables. I'm not running past network cables. I'm not running past anything else other than straight from the board to the USB thing. So I think I'm kind of leaning towards doing that more.
Skin, most sound cards don't use any system resources. They have their own system resources that they use for processing. The only thing that it has to do is when it's passing the sound to the computer, which is absolutely minimal. So you shouldn't even notice any usage spike when you plug in an extra sound card.
Yeah. Webcam's a different story.
Yeah, webcam is a completely different story. And that's because, of course, you have to encode, and encoding can be quite expensive. And most people think, well, I'm not live streaming, why am I encoding? Well, no matter what, you have to encode video in order to be able to watch it. And it's just what you're encoding in that can cause a difference. X264, really heavy on systems, and that's what we use for Twitch. MP4 is not as heavy, and I really wish that they would switch to it, but it's such a large file system compared to X264. You gotta...
Well... So that's a setting in OBS that you can do.
Yeah.
One of the reasons I switched from using besides quality, one of the reasons I stopped using my C920 and started using the webcam was because the Logitech drivers for the C920 are crap. I'll just say that. And they will cause a whole bunch of what's called DPC latency.
Yep.
Basically driver latency. I found some ways around it, and switching to MPEG mode instead of the native whatever default is really helped with that, and got rid of that latency, because it causes more problems than just with your video. It causes audio problems, believe it or not, because I was having a ton of audio problems last year, and I'm like, what the hell? And somebody said, well, check your webcam drivers, and I'm like, it has nothing. I'm not even using the audio in my webcam. And they're like, no, just check it. I'm like, that makes no sense. And I did a whole bunch of research, and probably over like a 3-week period, I finally figured out, yeah, this was the problem. And I've still got, every once in a while, I'll check that, but I don't even worry about it hardly anymore.
Yep.
Because it's the thing. But so now I use my C920 as like I just did, to kind of a show off cam, and like I want to show stuff. But
now,
my main camera is this Canon $2,000. Don't buy one because they're expensive.
Yeah, I still want one of those. They're so pretty.
Hold on. This is the cam that I use for streaming. So it's
absolutely
not
love
cheap,
that camera.
But I bought it to do more YouTube stuff that I haven't ever done. So I did some recording at PAX East, but
Never released it?
did I do PAX? No, I did vlogs.
Oh.
So I got a $2,000 camera to do vlogs.
And so that's
I have an iPhone I could have done that with.
So that's something that you guys should know, that different webcams, of course, use different resources. I don't use a C920 like most people. I'm using the Microsoft equivalent, the Microsoft HD 3000. And most people would cringe, just like Geezer did. But let me tell you, the drivers for the Microsoft Camera HD 3000 actually work better than the Logitech. I use less resources. I don't have a problem. I literally took a pin to the mic, so I never have to worry about it accidentally turning on. And it
That
works,
was extreme.
it works absolutely terrifically. Now, the downside to it being that it doesn't have widescreen. So, like, if you take a look, what the edges you're seeing here are actually the edges of my camera. I can't go any wider with it, whereas with the C920, I believe it has a widescreen shot that allows them to, like, go wider than this. Like, you see Geezer's able to actually, like, stretch out his arms, and and so that's something that you got to look at.
I am zoomed in, too. I mean, I can... Oh, come on. Now you're going to be a jerk. This works like half the time. I actually have a remote for my camera, and half the time it doesn't work.
Nice. And so, yeah, so he's got much more viewing area than, say, the 3000. The 3000 was designed for Skype. It was designed for this sort of thing. The other thing that I like about it is that it natively uses the X264 drivers, which the 920 does not natively use. So it actually uses more resources to use that in coding. Now, the other thing that I like that for is because my PC, I use an MSI Gaming 9AC board. If for those of you that don't know, that means it actually has an X264 processing chip on it, meaning that I don't have to use my processor to process this video. This entire Twitch stream is happening on a completely separate processor than what my gaming would.
Mine too, but mine's a completely different computer.
Yeah, so it's the same idea, right? So my system actually has a separate processor for that because I had a single computer set up and I wanted something that would work for it. I also needed a very, very, very powerful machine for my job. Because you never know as a contractor what you're going to be doing. So like 1 week I might be doing coding and I need to have the processing power. So I have, the new Core i7s with the DDR4 memory and things like that. I would not recommend an average person buying a machine like this. Although it is capable of literally doing everything that Twitch can throw at it. I am looking at switching to a 2 PC setup because there are some limitations to the single PC setup. One, sound. I don't know, Geezer, have you ever tried using your entire mixing system on a single PC setup? It is not fun. You're having to loop and all sorts of weird things.
Well, I mean, you can do it. It's still the same. You just need more sound cards.
Well, yeah.
I'm actually working on right now a system to live stream from Twitch from my laptop using a mixer. So, it's not going well.
All right, guys. Now, unfortunately, we talked so much about preferred streaming settings, and we did go over some of the questions that people had talked to me earlier about asking Geezer, but we don't have time for Q&A. We have reached the end of the show. Only 3 minutes left in the show, guys, which means that we have to skip 6, 7, and move straight on to 8. Closing remarks, shout-outs, and more. We're going to start with Geezer. Geezer, go ahead and tell us about your channel. Go ahead and somebody post a link up for him, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
I stream Minecraft. Black Dog, back to you. My standard elevator speech. Hi, I'm Geezer HD. I'm the host of an awesome community on Twitch TV. Hope you come out and join us sometime. We primarily stream modded Minecraft, but sometimes we play some other games. We mainly focus around our community, and we like to have fun with all our friends. So come hang out. There you go.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Omega, do you have any, do your shout out?
Yep, but I actually have some stuff to do right now. Sorry about that. I need to send a key to somebody.
That's right. I will just, if you want, I can do your shout out.
Go to Sprocket and then go back to me.
Sure. Sprocket.
Go ahead.
Oh, yes. Everybody, thank you for tuning in today for this wonderful TII Help Desk, along with Geezer HD over here. Awesome, awesome streamer. I lurk in your channel, if you didn't know that. I've spoken to you a few times, but I do lurk in there a lot. You make watching Minecraft fun for me because I honestly don't like the game. There's very few people, streamers, that I can say do that for me. I need to say thank you to everybody that followed, everybody that host, including in my own channel. Thank you guys so much, and I can't wait to see you again, Geezer, on your stream.
Absolutely. We'll be live again tomorrow night.
You ready, Omega?
Tomorrow night, community chat night.
All right, so my turn now, guys. We're doing a charity event in a few days, and I mean in a few weeks, and we will really love to see some of our viewers there. TII will be part of it. Rise Up Gaming will also be part of it, and RGN, which is Moshmo team. Moshmo will be the next streamer, by the way. So his team will be also part of it, as well as the D&D Army stream team, of course. And this charity is to help to raise awareness and money for Atexia Canada. And we need help from our viewers to achieve, the best for them. I myself have Atexia, and it's a really, really bad disease, and we need to fight that. We need to find a cure, and for that we need your help. So the charity event will take place starting at August 30, and will finish on September 6th. So please, guys, be there and, help us. That's it for me.
Perfect. So yeah, we are doing that charity stream again. That's August 30th to September 6th for Ataxia. Guys, come check it out. We hope that you'll come. You'll donate to help out with the Ataxia. Let other people know if you can't donate. Being here is terrific. Shouting us out on Twitter, that is absolutely terrific, because we will be doing a whole week of Ataxia streaming, and hopefully we will get, donations and stuff to help fight this disease, because it is really bad. I'm Black Dog Z, guys. This has been the Help Desk. We do the Help Desk once a week here on the Indie Initiative, Thursdays, 4 p.m. Eastern. We do the Help Desk over on my channel as well once in a while. We're going to be doing that more often, more on that on my channel. So you're going to see tons of stuff coming up, and I hope you guys enjoyed, you followed, and for those of you that followed, I want to thank you, and you guys have been terrific, guys. Unfortunately, my outro screen is broken, so there is no outro today, guys. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to wave. Hopefully Geezer waves too. And we're just going to say goodbye, everybody. And you have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful day, guys. The next streamer should be up right now. Have a good evening.